I enjoy how it feels like how all of the resources that have been like curated around my residency feel much like how I like my workflow in the studio. So if I'm working, I'll bring like all of the things, like if I'm like sculpting or doing some casting or something, I'll bring like all of the things that I need around me where I can just reach them. And in a way, the resources that you curated around me, around specifically for my residency or my time here, all feel like they're within reach. So I can be in flow in the practice of just making and get to things that I need when I need them. And if I don't have something in arm's reach, I can just come to you and ask you about it. And there's like, and if it's not you specifically having knowledge, you have a wealth of like a community that you've cultivated that you can get it. And I think that helps tremendously in terms of just being able to just make and not being too far removed from the things that I need to make. So I found that a lot of art institutions, a lot of creative institutions like to engage where the work is bigger than the person. Because you said while you were talking that like, you met me and then I was bigger than just the works that I was making. And I found that that's been a reason why some institutes haven't worked with me, and when in talking with people in the past haven't pursued, because in their perspective, it's not easily packaged for people. And it's like, I'm just gonna say this. How do you,
say it.
It's like, how do you sell the ocean on the side of the street?
Ooh.
You can't really do that.
No.
But that doesn't scare you, where other people it scares them. So why doesn't it scare you? Because it seems like the other artists that I've met that have worked with you, that you also have like, in a way, brought into like your family, into this environment, ecosystem that you're creating, I get a sense of that as well, that there's a depth to the person that supersedes the thing that they're making, that they're presenting you. Like there's a lot more there than just the object, just whatever the object may be. So why doesn't that scare you?
I'm not invested in extraction.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been wrapped up in titles.
Okay.
And so whether, the title is a work of art,
Mm-hmm.
it always starts with the human being
Mm-hmm.
and that person. And so what you do, what you construct, has a life force to it.
Yeah.
And so you're sharing part of you through that work. I'm really invested in the person. I'm invested in you, Marvin, being free. And so a work can't exist without you having that capacity, that feeling, that sense of being free. So, that's something my mother just said, I just want you to be free. When I'm acting like a fool, she's not like saying like, you just lose off all of your faculties and no. I want you to be free, meaning I want you to be centered in who you are. No matter where you are, under what conditions, you still are able to operate feeling and being and doing and seeing that you are free. So that's what I'm invested in.
That was a profound answer.
I think about with my board, and I had this vision statement that talked about like care and trust, caress, love, and they thought, oh my gosh, you're defining like a healthcare system. And I said, no, I'm not. That's like the human condition. That's what we all want to feel. And so I was like, okay, we'll put that aside. But for me, I wasn't going to give that up. And fast forward, months later, they came back to that and they were like, we know what you're talking about now, because we've been in this space,
they can see it.
Interacted with your team, we've interacted with the artists, and we feel and see and sense, we now know what you're talking about. And that's not some hocus pocus. That's some real truth Alma Lewis is doing. And so, like I said, I'm gonna just, that's at the core of the mission and the vision. And people might have to catch up to that, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But that's just how I've been working outside the margins and centering that love and care and that freedom.